Oh, yeah. God,
What is coffee talk?
Yeah, coffee talk. I don't know. Whatever. And the ta-ta-ting.
Yeah.
It's OKRs.
Hey, Craig, let's get into some coffee talk.
Hey, I love it. I love doing some coffee talk.
Well, talk about what?
Dogs, daughters, whatever. It's coffee talk.
Coffee talk.
Hey, Mr. Jason, do it to it.
Oh, coffee talking. Coffee talking.
They know. They know, though.
Oh, yeah. God,
What is coffee talk?
That is one of those sayings again.
What?
Yeah.
What is coffee talk?
Coffee talk. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
So I finished a book recently, and of course I didn't read the book, and I usually say, oh yeah, I read a book, because my wife, if I say that, gets upset because it's not reading the book, it's listening to it. So I just listened to a book. I want to be very clear.
Well, she's not going to listen to this.
No, but I want to be clear because that's kind of the subject of this is clarity. I read this book, Measure What Matters by John Doerr.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's a doer.
It was incredible.
You finished it already?
Simple. Yeah.
Man, I'm a slow listener.
I can't start something without finishing it fast or I won't get back to it.
Yeah.
I just won't. Anyways, so this one was super cool. John Doerr talks about Andy Grove and a concept that I don't think that he came up with it, but he really implemented it at multiple companies, including, I think he helped Apple with it, but he definitely helped Google scale with this method. And he he worked for Intel as a CEO and crushed it. And since then, he's helped some of the largest corporations scale with this. Drum roll.
Oh, I tried to download the drum roll and it. You
got to get it. Like that's, I know. And the ta-ta-ting.
Yeah.
It's OKRs. And
OKRs.
Yes. And so the idea is to lead your staff or your teams as a manager, but instead of going through a system where there are tasks and all these things, it's almost like we always get into the details and we have to figure it out, right? Instead, you give like big objectives, like not the how of the objective, the what of the objective. So like, okay, we want to increase sales by 20%. And then you have key results. So you have different things that are tied to them that are very specific and measurable.
Yep.
So if you're
time bound.
And time bound. So yes, very specific, measurable, and time bound.
Smart goals, kind of.
Yeah, same thing. And we all know, like, it's common sense, right? But like doing it this way, the objective, everybody knows what everybody's working on if you work in the system. Then you also have the measurements to know whether or not we're going to hit these goals on time. But also it's giving everybody the autonomy to kind of come up with their own way. I mean, how much as an agency owner do you hate having to be, like we talked about it before, be the Google of the office or something like?
I don't prefer that.
This is giving you the autonomy to be able to own this thing. So now when somebody achieves it, they take big ownership of it. Plus, you as the agency owner are extremely excited that they were able to come up with it. You're building a culture of critical thinking, and you're not that Google, and you're not getting, I mean, you freed up your time to be able to do more. So I just really like that. They call it OKRs.
What's the O?
Key results.
Oh, objectives and key results. Yeah.
Yeah. And even you don't have to use it exactly like them, Andy Grove or whatever. But like the cool thing about it is to just think more along these lines where it's more data driven, right? You have objectives that you want to hit. You have specific things that you need to do and that are time bound. And then in that process, how many times do we ask somebody to do something and we don't get specific? We don't tell them types of numbers or things specifics that need to happen and what time they want it done. The time thing's interesting because how many times do we ask somebody to do something and don't put a time limit on it? Or one of our managers does that with one of our team
all the time, and
then get upset that they don't have it done like the next day or whatever. But it's like, you never gave them the time. Like the more specific And I think this practice helps you be more specific on the exact expectations and time that you want it done by. And then because most of the time the other person doesn't even know, like you said that you want this thing done. Cool. Like that could mean a month to them or 2 years, you know?
Right.
But like, then you're thinking by like 3 p.m. And by not saying that, now you're pissed off at this other person because they didn't complete this thing. But like, it's you that weren't clear on when you wanted it done by.
100%. Remember Brian we had on, and he talked about that. Like you almost negotiate for that time bound element of it too. Don't say it has to be done by tomorrow at 2. Know that, okay, if you want it done by Wednesday, if you want it done by Friday, ask for Wednesday, and then they'll push back. And then you say, well, how about Friday? Right. So give yourself a little wiggle room in there.
Right.
So that it's that negotiation, right? Your first offer is never your best offer. So you want to give a little bit where they're going to come back and go, I'm really busy. Can it be Friday? Then you go, okay, I'll let that happen. Right. That sounds good. Now they got a little bit of a win, but they're going to do the thing and they know that there's a time. So then when you go into the meeting, this is the other important thing though. And it goes what we were talking about on the previous coffee talk, which is to hold them accountable, right? Don't just peace out on Friday and forget about it, because if you do, and it doesn't get done, then they go, well, I guess if I don't get it done, it doesn't really matter. Right. So there has to be 100%. Accountability behind it. So you have that meeting, you go, hey, wanted to follow up and go through the stuff that you'd finished, right? Let's go through that report. Oh, I didn't do it. Okay. What happened? Then you can go into, what the ramifications are and all of that, but it's really critical to hold the accountability there.
I love it.
Being consistent.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So being clear, consistent, holding things with a time deadline, and keeping everything measurable, super key. The book for OKRs, if you're interested, is Measure What Matters by John Dewar. I think it was an amazing book. They also have stories from everybody from the dudes from Google to, I think, Bezos, I think Bono, not Sonny Bono.
Oh, no, he hit the tree.
No. Yeah. So it's super cool book. But anyways, I would say that's coffee talk.
It is, but I'm going to derail it because I think that even from the very beginning, it's so interesting because he helped Google. And I know you're looking at the timer. I'm going to go fast. He helped Google. And I think what's really important to understand is that was a brand new landscape, right? The whole idea of search. And Google came in, they were the 20th player to the market. The 20th. 20th. How often does the 20th person into a market win? Right. But they installed this and they stuck with it. Sergey and the other guy at Google were like, yeah, well, it sounds good. Let's do it. And I remember him saying, because he was one of the investors in Google too, I think. So he wanted it to be successful. And when he asked, what did he ask their mission statement? He said, what's your mission statement to the Google guys? They said, we want to be the number one indexer in the world, or the number one cataloger of information in the world. And he's like, well, that's pretty cool. And how much do you want to make? 100 billion or something. And, they've obviously exceeded that. So it's pretty crazy. It works.
It is. It's nuts.
Yeah. So nuts. Great book.
Awesome.
And hey, Jason, what would you like somebody to do right now?
I would like them to go to live.teledudes.com and check out something that can take a lot of time out of your agency, take it off the plate, also help your agency increase sales and really crush it.
Ooh, that's a coffee talk.
But that's a coffee talk.
But
live.teledudes.com.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, Mr. Craig.
That was another awesome episode, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people want to get a little bit more action and learn how to write 100,000 in premium off of even the worst internet leads, where could they go?
They can go to live.teledudes.com.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Are we going to be there?
Yes. It's a weekly call that we're doing right now it's live, and it will show you the process. The entire process is super awesome.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sign up right now, live.teledudes.com.
Live.teledudes.com. That's live.teledudes.com.
Hey, Craig, there's a new community that we are starting that I cannot wait to tell everybody about. It is our live texting community where you and I are going to answer people's questions and give them free content, right?
Are you kidding me? We get to talk to them?
Yeah, which is awesome, but they have to opt in. They have to text us at 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
Nice.
Craig, are you going to respond to these texts?
I'm going to respond to them for sure. Live.
I'm into it too. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be our new texting community where we're going to get back to everybody that we can and drop some crazy content, free content, and free the calculator that you just came up with. That's right. The calling calculator, sales material. I mean, everything for insurance agents. This is it. It's the best texting community out there for insurance agents.
Well, what the heck is that number again? I can't remember it.
It's 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
I love it. I'm going to text it right now.
520-214-2219.
All right. I'll see you later, Mr. Jason.
Bye, Mr. Craig.
Wait, do they even listen to this on the radio anymore?
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
All right.